Please join me in congratulating the recipients of this year's SUNY Chancellor's Award for Excellence in Teaching. Please stand so we may acknowledge you. Professors Kristen Kolka, Eileen McCavery Kane, and Catherine Lynch. Will this year's SUNY's distinguished faculty members please rise and be acknowledged? Patricia Maloney Titlin, Bill Baker, Martin Lecker, Mara Liberace, and Elaine Padilla. This year, 4 students have earned the recognition of SUNY Chancellor's Award for Student Excellence. Please stand to be recognized. Congratulations to Mateus Damasceno, Thomas Leonard, Austin Miller, and Alana Walmsley. During the worldwide pandemic, our community has experienced great loss. At RCC, we were deeply saddened by the loss of one of our very own, Janisa de la Cruz Rosa. Janisa was a pre-nursing major and was one of the frontline heroes who worked at Nyack Hospital. Janisa's goal was to become a nurse to help others and to provide a better life for her young son. Janisa touched the lives of both her fellow students and professors at Rockland Community College. I hereby award the Honorary Associate of Arts degree in Liberal Arts to Janisa de la Cruz Rosa.
Thank you, Dr. Baston, Dr. Brewer, and distinguished guests and class of 2020 Rockland Community College. We all know how this unpredictable time has complicated our already challenging lives. But as Helen Keller once said, we can do anything we want to if we stick to it long enough. I am proof that her quote is true. As the first generation in my family to graduate, I am feeling proud and strong. I am grateful for the opportunity to share this accomplishment. I started at RCC in 1993 when I was 30 years old. But as everyone knows, life takes over and I put my dreams on hold. I am finally graduating with a degree in business administration today, June 11th, 2020, with persistent people just like me. I would like to thank my RCC family who guided me when I wasn't sure what class to take next. Thank you, especially Ian Pena, Gina Lovich, Janice Moore, Susanna Santiago, Nilda Aragone, Dr. Latoya, Christina Merriweather, and Student Success and Advisement. And in financial aid, Deborah B., Karina Joseph, and Bonnie King, who sat with me when I didn't know where to find a scholarship or how to fill out a FAFSA form. Brian Merritt and Sonny Reyes in the bursar's office, who always had time to answer my crazy questions. To Elizabeth Sullage, who would find time out of her busy schedule to motivate and inspire me to take the next step. Diane Menya, who supported and found ways to help me with Alpha Beta Gamma Honor Society. My professors, Dr. George Repick, Professor D. Ramon, Professor Roche, and Professor Lebarsky, to name a few. And I would like to give a special thanks to Professor Ken Walters, who taught me to have fun with speech. May you rest in peace. Also, many other professors and instructors who took their time to calm me down and explain that it would all come together when I felt a problem to a question would not be solved. All of these wonderful people who believed in me when I didn't think I can complete a class or obtain my goals. They helped me persevere. Rockland Community College is a community of people who are with me today and have been for 27 years. I feel proud and strong to be a part of this community that helped launch many successful careers. Rockland Community College inspires students. We are a diverse community that when we are together, we help one another and we become one. I've met people from all walks of life who are so similar, striving for knowledge and goals to improve ourselves and our communities and our families. And as unique individuals, we seek knowledge. I feel proud, I feel strong because I am a woman of Spanish, French, Apache, Native American descent, and take pride that I am my mother's daughter. My mother was a strong woman too, who rose above racial divides. She was a woman Army Corps nurse during the Korean War era. This is at a time that in her culture, the women did not leave home until they were married. She would speak about how when she was young, trying to shop or find an apartment with her friends, people would chase her off their property because of her color, or ignore her and take the next person in line to avoid her altogether. While she and my father were in the military, she was my father's nurse, and while he was sick in the hospital, they fell in love and soon after married. But I did not realize I was a product of a mixed-race marriage. She raised 5 children and worked a full-time job, along with my father, who worked a full-time job and 3 part-time. I could not understand why my younger brother or my older sister were not allowed to play with the neighbors, play in their yard, or when I was invited to a party and they were not. I remember someone yelling out of the car window, "Indian lover," to my father while walking hand in hand with my mother down the street. I couldn't understand why. But we were raised to be colorblind. As children, we were raised to find the good in all and turn our cheeks at hatred and bigotry in our small town. They have been great parents. She was no fuss and worked hard and never complained. She and my father taught integrity, respect, work, and love. She was my hero and one of my main reasons I am here and fighting strong today. Not only for her, but women of all walks of life, to strive for the betterment of society, respect for equality, no matter color, gender, race, religion. We lost our mother 5 years ago this June 28th from breast cancer. I would like to dedicate my graduation day to my mother, Marjorie Marcelina Margarita Aragon Lopez Wood. I feel proud and strong that I overcame a physically and mentally abusive husband with a drug and alcohol addiction that not once but many times he tried to stop me from pushing forward for a better life. I was an at-home mom who lived through not knowing where he was most of the time, trusting he would do the right thing. But the bills were not paid, lights were turned off, and there were no heat, and then we lost our home. Sometimes people would drop food off and clothes to my children and myself. Christmas was provided by the kind teachers and community members in our town. I am very lucky and very proud that my children are happy and grown. 2 of my children, Bradley and Carolyn, are here with me attending RCC, and my other 2 children, Megan and Jonathan, are attending SUNY universities. I am remarried to a man who believes in God and education and has supported me in this journey by staying up at night to make sure that I had a hot cup of coffee and try to answer my questions. Last but not least, my dear RCC family and friends that helped me reach this incredible goal. I appreciate and applaud you all. I am here today to proudly receive my Associate's Applied Science in Business Administration from Rockland Community College. I hope that from my past and my present that I can show my children, my friends, and all people that Helen Keller was right. You can do anything if you stick to it long enough. Be proud, be strong. Congratulations, class of 2020. May your challenges become your triumphs. Thank you.
I found RCC because my high school was literally down the road, so I've always known about RCC.
Why I chose RCC was because it's a smaller campus. You get to meet your teachers more smaller, and you make a lot of good friends.
I'm glad that I came here because I didn't think that I would get the opportunities that I got here in any other place that I would go.
It really has helped me and prepared me to go to a four-year in university. So
I just felt connected to that place, and I remember walking by, I went to a tour and I was walking and just seeing the SGA office, the student union there, like the vibes and the environment, and I said that's where I want to be for those 2 years, for those 2 next years. And I found myself doing one more semester because I loved it.
I'm actually a better person as a whole because of RCC.
I think I'm a better leader from RCC.
You saved me so many times from making some bad decisions, and
It actually helped me get out of my introverted shell.
RCC helped me a lot, and I believe in myself more.
I would like to give a big shout out to TRIO Student Support Services. They have done so much for me for the past couple of years at RCC.
they really made me want to go to college, to do better and to be first generation, to be the first one, and kind of break generational boundaries. So
My father, my brother, my best friend, my everything, he supported me in everything.
She literally sacrificed her life for us to have a better life, and I can never say I'm never grateful for my mother because she is so amazing and I love her so much, and she's just the best role model in my life right now.
Me and my mom she has been behind a lot of the things that I've done. She's always had that hard working mentality. And so that's pushed me to a limit because she's always wanted me to succeed. And she's always wanted the best of me and for me. And so she has always been there for me as well.
to my beautiful daughter Melina,
Your son.
À toi, mon cher fils Fraxen.
Hoje te felicitamos, Pedro, por tudo que você lutou.
Dear Kaylee, seeing you graduate from RCC makes me so proud of you and all your hard work.
as a mother, there is no greater joy in life than to see my children accomplish their goals.
Your graduation is a day. I have a vision for years. It's a dream for each parent to see their child graduate.
Your hard work, determination, and perseverance have led you to graduation. Congratulations on all your work you've done to make it this point.
Você é a razão de nossos sonhos e nosso maior motivo para sorrir sempre. That's basically saying that your realization of our dreams and our biggest motive to smile in life and always.
We are so proud of you. From this day on, you will be able to focus on carrying out major projects and building your future, my son. One thing should never be forgotten: the pursuit of your dream. Again, congratulations. This achievement is not a surprise to me, but it's simply deserved and will give you a chance to spread your wings in this world. There are many challenges and possibilities available to you. Well done, my son. Love you.
I am so proud of you. Now, with joyful gratitude, we celebrate your accomplishments and wish you nothing but the best.
I am so very proud of you. I am so honored to call you my daughter. I love you endlessly. Love Mom.
Best of luck with everything you do. I know you're going to be great. With love and support, your brother Chris.
I love you so much, Mom. Heart 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 hearts.
Good afternoon, Rockland Community College class of 2020. This is not how we expected to be spending commencement day, and I look forward to a future when we may all gather together in the field house to really honor your accomplishments in person. Later in our program, I will have the honor to officially confer the degree that each of you worked so hard to achieve. You will leave RCC and you will move on to your next institution or directly into the world of work. I've always believed that the best way to say goodbye is to say thank you. I hope you will thank your instructors who have poured their energy into educating you and preparing you for the next step in your journey. I hope you will thank your parents and loved ones who have pushed you to pursue your dreams and who take great pride in your success. And I hope that you will thank your RCC classmates who stood with you over the past several years and made your experience here worthwhile and joyful. Finally, I want to express my gratitude to each of you. First, for the ways in which you responded to an unforeseen and painful disruption that came this spring. I've been inspired by each and every one of you, and particularly many of our nursing students who volunteered to serve on the front lines to combat this deadly virus. You have accepted the responsibility of caring for your fellow citizens with dignity and grace. Second, I want to thank each of you for the years that you have spent with us. This is Rockland Community College's 60th commencement. Over the past 60 years, the college has been strengthened and deepened with each new class that has joined us. You too have left your mark on this institution. What happens at RCC is not simply classroom learning. We have been committed to developing each of you as individuals. From the work in the classroom and the library, in the labs and the tutoring center, through the friendships that you have formed, to the commitments that you've made to campus clubs, volunteerism, and internships, music and athletics. Through all these parts of RCC, we have tried to provide you with the opportunities that will allow you to understand yourself, one another, and the world around you. Our mission, after all, is to provide purpose-driven educational opportunities that will allow you to positively transform yourselves and your communities. At our best, this is the work that shapes Rockland Community College. We are honored that we could spend these years with you, and we are thankful that we could spend this afternoon with you to celebrate you and to celebrate what you mean to this great institution. This year, we are fortunate to hear from Sarita Brown as our keynote speaker. Sarita is founding president of Excelsia in Education, a national not-for-profit organization dedicated to accelerating Latino success in higher education by linking research, policy, and practice to serve Latino students. For more than 3 decades, she has worked at prominent educational institutions and at the highest levels of government to implement effective strategies, raise academic achievement, and increase opportunities for low-income and students of color. Please join me in welcoming our keynote speaker, Sarita Brown.
Hello, President Baston, Rockland Community College faculty and administrators, and most important, the class of 2020. Your familia y amigos, muchísimas gracias for sharing your special moment with me. This is your moment, and we are here today to acknowledge what you've accomplished in completing your studies. As our world is in the midst of a pandemic, each of us has had to suspend most of what we normally do to protect ourselves, our families, and our communities. And you persevered. You saw it through and you graduated. Your achievement deserves an orale, as we like to say in my neighborhood. The historic commencement is exactly what the word means. Commencement, a beginning. Most importantly, your beginning, to intentionally continue your life's journey, fueled with the learning and experiences of your time at Rockland Community College. Certainly, this commencement is different than you imagined. While we are not gathered together in the same place, we are together in our support of you and our belief in your capacities to put your skills, energies, imagination, y ganas into the life that you will choose for yourself. Moving forward at this historical moment of uncertainty makes all of us a little introspective. In quiet moments, we recognize the stakes are very high, and it matters what each of us does. At Excelencia in Education, we believe in the capacity of the American people, strengthened by higher education, to enhance our society and ensure a bright future. We look to you and your future and the proposition that you are going to give it all you have. Strive to meet important challenges. Care deeply, laugh hard, and push yourself to keep trying to do better every day. Commit to do your best for yourself, your family, and your community, even if it's inconvenient, even if it takes more time, even if it feels like you'll have to work harder. Do it because this is the path to a fulfilling life. And that is what I wish for all of you. Class of 2020, your optimism and ánimo, your commitment to your loved ones, and your proven tenacious ability to respond to change and continue to be productive for yourself, for your community, and for this country inspires all of us. Know that your investment in yourself and your education will be an asset as you move forward. Be proud of what you've accomplished and stay ready and eager for the next challenge. Many congratulations, class of 2020. Muy bien hecho.
Ms. Brown, it is my esteemed pleasure to bestow the Presidential Award of Honor to you today. You have championed accelerating student success for Latino students in higher education. Thank you for all that you have done and all that you will continue to do. We are proud to have you as part of the Rockland Community College family. It gives me great pleasure to introduce to you our second keynote speaker, Dr. Mel Etienne. Dr. Mel Etienne is Associate Dean for Student Affairs at New York Medical College, and he is a commander in the United States Navy. He is also Associate Professor of Neurology and Medicine and serves as Course Director of Multiculturalism in Medicine at the NYMC School of Medicine. Dr. Etienne's family immigrated to the United States in 1981 when he was 5 years old. He grew up in Rockland County and attended the East Ramapo schools. After graduating from Ramapo Senior High School, he went on to earn his bachelor's degree from Yale University and his medical degree from New York Medical College. He has completed his neurology residency and epilepsy fellowship at the Neurological Institute of New York at Columbia University. Welcome, Dr. Etienne.
Thank you, Dr. Baston, for that wonderful introduction. And thank you, Dr. Helen Castellanos Brewer, for the invitation to join you for Rockland Community College's first ever virtual commencement ceremony. Greetings, Dr. Baston, Board of Trustees, members of the Executive Cabinet, distinguished faculty, guests, and the Rockland Community College class of 2020. Every year, as seniors approach graduation, there is a great deal of preparation taking place. The students are busy trying to do well on their final assignments. The professors have to get their grades turned in, and the administrative faculty are busy planning for a memorable graduation ceremony. One of the challenges is figuring out what it is that makes that year's class special. So what is it that makes this class so special? You are an unprecedented class graduating during an unprecedented pandemic and worldwide crisis. Many, including myself, have said that the class of 2020 is the greatest class. As a scientist, I would never let anyone get away with making such a claim without backing it up with data. So here we go. Just 5 months ago, as the coronavirus was making its way to our shores, we memorialized the over 250,000 people who died after an earthquake that took place on January 12, 2010. We reflected on the many people who received amputations, the hundreds of thousands of people who were injured, and the over 1 million people who became homeless and were living in tent cities. The earthquake I am referring to occurred on the poor island nation of Haiti, home to the first Black republic in the world, and also the birthplace of many from this class of 2020. I was 5 years old when my family moved to the United States from Haiti. 20 years later, on September 11th, 2001, I was a senior in medical school, working on the hospital wards. That morning, while evaluating a patient, we looked at the television and saw airplanes collide into each of the Twin Towers. Within months, the United States was at war. As I saw the brave men and women in uniform, including my brother, cousins, and friends, go overseas to protect US interests, I reflected on the many benefits I had derived from growing up in these United States. I knew all that was made possible because of the many Americans who have bravely defended our country and freedom. I decided I would join the US Navy and was commissioned years later while doing my neurology residency at Columbia University. After 7 years at Columbia, I reported to the Naval Hospital in Bethesda, Maryland in August 2009. And 5 months later, I was on a ship sailing to take part in an unprecedented international relief effort after Haiti's destruction by an earthquake. As we set sail for Haiti, we had faith that we would do the greatest good for the greatest number of people. I clearly remember the collapsed buildings, including the Haitian palace, dead people laying on the streets, children running, screaming, and people crying asking America and other countries for help. Yes, indeed, it was prime time. We treated countless earthquake victims, many with conditions I had only read about in textbooks. I treated numerous patients with tetanus, including a newborn who died shortly after arrival on the Comfort. Telling parents their baby has died is something that you never want to have to do. But I had to do it multiple times throughout that mission. I recall the many patients who became paralyzed from spine fractures, patients with terrible infections in their arms and legs requiring amputations lest they die. Children who were separated from their parents during the earthquake. Sadly, many of them became orphans because their parents had died. I still remember the joy in one mother's voice when I called her on the phone to get consent for surgery. That was how she found out her daughter had survived. That mom made her way to the ship within 2 hours, and that family was reunited. Of the over 250,000 people who died, the over 300,000 injured, and the over 1 million displaced Haitians after the earthquake, some of those people are the relatives and close friends of people you and I know. For example, a couple days after the earthquake, I learned that my niece was trapped in a house and my cousin was missing. When I spoke with my cousin after she was pulled out from the bottom of the Hotel Montana, I breathed a sigh of relief, but then became concerned because I knew there were others still stuck beneath the rubble. And worse, many had died there. I know many of you in the audience volunteered to give support to Haiti, and I know that many of you were directly impacted by the earthquake, including losing family members to that devastating event. Dealing with despair is never easy. Now, 10 years later, we find ourselves facing this pandemic. Again, we are all being directly impacted by a disaster. Many of us have loved ones who have succumbed to this infection, including myself. And once again, many of you have stepped up to do all you can do to add to our unprecedented response. You, the class of 2020, had to continue attending classes in a new online platform, had to continue writing your papers, passing your exams, all while taking measures to beat this invisible enemy. Before COVID, some of you were facing insurmountable challenges with childcare, your children not doing their homework, paying your bills, housing and transportation problems, legal problems, personal and family health problems, all threatening your ability to pursue your dream of getting a college education. You thought you could not take anymore and were approaching your breaking point, but then COVID came along and you had to work even harder. You found out that you were capable of so much more than you ever knew. You remained dedicated to the fight, and that is why you are now graduating, many of you as first-generation college students. Yes, the class of 2020 is the greatest class, and I will give you a new name. The class of 2020 will forever be the remembered class. You will be remembered for protecting your loved ones by grocery shopping for them, creating masks for healthcare workers, providing meals and babysitting services for first responders and hospital workers. You will be remembered for volunteering in the local hospitals, for sending inspirational messages to first responders to fuel us as we continue to fight. You will be remembered for not giving up and pursuing your dream despite this heavy load that has been thrust upon you. You, class of 2020, have already demonstrated your resilience, your commitment to the betterment of your community, and lastly, your commitment to academic excellence. You have already demonstrated that you are ready to compete on the world stage and to lead, especially when disaster strikes. Because you have already demonstrated that you can overcome such great odds, The typical advice I would have given as part of my commencement address is not necessary today. This allows me to share with you some important pearls. 1, always remember to say thank you to all those who have helped you along the way. That includes your biological family, parents, siblings, cousins, uncles, aunts, and grandparents, your religious and spiritual family, as well as your academic and work family. You did not do this alone. 2nd, I'm going to tell you why each of us chose our vocations. It was to use our God-given gifts to help our fellow human beings the best way we can. To God be the glory. 3rd, all of the hard work you put into your education is because you know deep down in your heart that your patients, your clients, your customers, your constituents, and your families are all worth it. Every hour spent studying is an investment in yourself and in those people. And 4th and final is your careers. In your careers, you will have the opportunity to be a part of many miracles. The miracles happen when you have a highly functioning team with a leader who is humble enough and has the wisdom to have everyone included in contributing to the mission. As you leave from this place, some of you will hit the ground running as nurses at hospitals in the region, public health professionals, and other healthcare related fields. Some of you will do other essential work, like working in gas pipeline operations, information technology, and homeland security. Some of you will continue your education at four-year institutions, and others of you will enter different parts of the workforce to help jumpstart this economy by pursuing your interest in the culinary arts, corporate work, and engineering. Wherever you go from here, you will have a big hand in reviving America. I do not know what my next challenge will be, and neither do you. I do know the current challenge before us is the COVID-19 pandemic that we will all come together to defeat. In closing, I will say I am proud to be an American. I am proud to wear this uniform and serve in the United States Navy. And I am very proud of all of you, the class of 2020, for all that you have done and will continue to do for these United States of America. Thank you once again for having me as your keynote speaker for this splendid celebration of the class of 2020, the remembered class.
Dr. Etienne, it is my esteemed pleasure to bestow the Presidential Award of Honor to you today. You have been on the front line as a medical doctor who cared for residents of Rockland County and beyond, and prepared and trained future medical doctors. Thank you for your service and for all that you have done and will continue to do. Welcome to the Rockland Community College family.